Sometimes as an engineering manager, you just need to pull the training wheels off the bike, so to speak, for one of your team members. Maybe they're not performing to where they should be, and you need to teach them a lesson, one that's going to help them in the long term. Well, in this week's Engineering Management Lessons video, I have with me Matthew Douglas. Matt is a civil engineer. He's also a public works operations manager for a city in Texas. And we had Matt on the Civil Engineering Podcast, and we'll link to the full episode below where he talks about opportunities for engineers in public works. But today, Matt, you're going to share with us a lesson that you learned in your career from one of your managers that really changed the game forever. Can you please share that with our listeners?
Well, I was actually caught slipping off my game at one point, and I was actually pulled to the side by my assistant director that I had previously mentioned, my favorite one. Part of the reason that he was actually my favorite was the way that he actually approached me about me slipping off my game. There were a certain amount of deliverables and projects that I needed to have answers to, and I didn't have them at the point in time. And I was, public works is very, very fast paced. I wasn't keeping up with the pace, especially not his pace. He's a very, very fast paced guy. A little bit faster than I would like, but it kept me sharp, kept me on my toes. But that was really the point. Him, pulling me up on that, showed me that, it's important to have speed and accuracy. Those things are very, very, very important, especially when it comes to public works. We are not called to be engineers that just respond to things whenever we want. We have to respond very, very quickly. We have to make hard decisions, and we have to make those hard decisions very fast in those points. We're also first responders as engineers as well. So blending the two of those things, we have to make sure that we pay attention, that we deliver things on time, under budget. We just get things done. That was extremely pivotal for me because it made it so that I was kind of woken up hey, this is not a chill session anymore. You are a manager of multiple projects, multiple millions of dollars worth of projects over here. You are helping people. You are changing lives. You are a first responder. You're responsible for a lot of things. Wake up, get to work. That's what I thought.
That's great. No, hey, listen, that sounds like a manager who's holding people accountable, which I think is a really good thing in today's world that we don't necessarily see enough. So it's great to hear that. And I think what you said that's really important is, and for all engineers, is the idea of speed and accuracy, because I understand that engineering is important. We're to the point that we have kind of the safety and health of the public kind of at our fingertips in a lot of ways in what we do, because, people's lives are at stake. So it's important to be extremely thorough in the work we do, but at the same time, people need roadways done. People need these projects done. So we can't drag them on for years and years and years. We need to kind of work quickly, but work accurately. And so I think as a manager, if you can hold people to that standard and hold people accountable, it can really be a game changer. And obviously for you, Matt, it's a point that you can look back on your career and say, hey, not only did it happen for me on that one project, but it changed the course of my career because now I take a little bit of a different approach.
Exactly. I would say that a lot of things just went completely uphill after that point. My project budgets have pretty much doubled, almost tripled, pretty much. So that's a lot more work that I've had to take on after that point. But the care and the accuracy with those projects and, having an answer for everything when somebody asks me, that's been happening as a result of that conversation that I've had. So it really kind of just set me straight. It's learning how to ride a bike without training wheels. Eventually the training wheels just got taken off, and now I've just been floating ever since.
It's great. And it's a real great story about how impactful you as a manager or leader can be in an organization, because what Matt's manager effectively did is taught him a mindset that he's now been able to adopt and utilize on projects that are triple the size of those, right? But it's stuck with him.
Right.
And that's the impact that you can have on a manager. So Matt, thanks so much for sharing your story with us.
All right. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed Matt's lesson, because it sounds like it was one that he really took to heart and really changed him for the long term. And whether you're a manager or a team member, this is something that you may experience from either side. But as a manager, sometimes you may need to have this type of conversation with one of your team members. Maybe they're not aware of all the responsibilities and what they are responsible for day to day, and you need to let them know in the right way. Please consider subscribing to our channel here. We put out videos like this on a weekly basis to help engineers become better managers and leaders. We'll see you next week.